I'm Jim Csek with Kelowna Now with your Need to Know. We're going to start off first with the election. The outcome should be clear. We should have an answer by Monday. So they're counting those ballots here starting today, I think. And then so we still have those two ridings that are the big ridings that need to be decided. So right now the NDP leads with 46 seats and the Conservatives have 45. And those two ridings could change the balance of power. So we should have that result come Monday. And everybody's long anticipating those results. Natural gas prices, they await that LNG line. Will it be a fix for prices? Because prices are low. We had something to put up there, but no, I guess we don't. There you go. So that line should start. They're expecting higher prices for LNG, but we'll see when that line gets up there. But I guess consumers would think that lower LNG prices would be good for home heating fuel. 10 cats rescued after being dumped at a truck stop at the BC Interior. There was 2 mother cats with 5 kittens each. That was at the 70 Mile House truck stop there. A woman picked them up. So if anybody's looking for a kitten, you can go to the BC SPCA site and there's like 10 kittens that I'm sure they're looking to rehome. Who doesn't want a kitten?
Save you from the mice problem.
So there you go. Like kittens, like beautiful looking calico cat there too, right? Ken Mulgad went out and talked to Tom Dias, the Mayor Tom Dias, yesterday about the video surveillance cameras that are being authorized for use in Vancouver. And he asked that question whether they're going to be used here in Kelowna. So Tom Dias, then we can run that video.
The City of Vancouver is moving to give police greater access to traffic cameras for enforcement. So why not do that here in Kelowna? Well, as the Mayor explains, the situation here is a little different.
The only traffic cameras that are within the city of Kelowna are on the highway, which is Highway 97. So that would be provincial. We don't have any cameras that are located on our municipal roads.
But you do have cameras on civic properties here and there.
Correct, we do. And so we have, like a homeowner may have cameras on their personal property. The city also has cameras on its assets. And if there is a situation that happens on those assets and the RCMP are looking for information, then they would come to us and request that information be shared with them.
So that was a clip of that video. If you want to watch that full video interview, you can go to KelownaNow.com. You can find that story on Kelowna Now. Easier to steal cars in Canada than the United Kingdom. Investigation finds it's a lot easier to steal cars in Canada, according to a new report from CBC. And it's due to the regulations in Canada are a lot looser here in Canada than they are in the UK. And then so a lot of the cars that get stolen are Lexus and Hondas and Jeeps and Land Rovers. So it's just puzzling why they wouldn't put those rules in here for Canada. Wouldn't you think, Jason? Because I think there was even people that actually had a tracker on their car and they found it in like sea cans and the police are just like, yeah, no. So,
we have the technology, people. We have the technology.
Canada's like the best place to steal cars. Chorus Entertainment reported their results, and that's their stock chart up there. Yeah, so revenues are down 21% over the quarter and 16% for the year. Not looking good for media in general, right? I mean, that's a terrible looking stock chart, but you can pull up almost any media outlet and you're going to see that similar thing. Again, I'm going to harp on the same message. The government needs to get its hand out of media and allow media to find its own footing and give us back our voice on Instagram and Facebook. I beat that drum a lot. You went to a concert last night, Jason.
Yeah, a comedy show.
Comedy show. There
Comedy
you go.
show at Prospera Place, and yeah, it was pretty good.
You had some thoughts though. You were confused as to why you were getting wanded at the door.
Yeah, so they set up the entrance. Normally, you kind of go in through the main, front doors, unless you're a suite holder, where you go to the side of the building. But they were routing people with certain ticket numbers through a side door, and it was a very long lineup. The show was late to start, and after waiting in line for about 20 minutes, a security guard came rolling down the line, advising people to be prepared to empty their pockets, to submit to a search, and to be metal wanded. Which I thought, holy heck, we are in the big city now, aren't we?
Who's this Jimmy Carr guy that he's...
Jimmy Carr and yeah. Jim Jeffries, great show. Jim Jeffries did not disappoint. I'd not seen Jimmy Carr before. Was really excited to see him. Thought he was on a little too long though, and I think some people were leaving the audience, before the show ended as well. But he was good. Just a little tiring to watch.
Did he catch all the snacks you were smuggling in there, or what?
Well, the funny thing is, when I got to the door, they didn't do anything. They just
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And then just in a couple of tweets that are out there, Elon Musk put a tweet out here, or he retweeted something that showed the non-permanent residents in Canada. And then there's somebody put a mark on there since Justin Trudeau. So you can see that there's been a dramatic increase in NPRs since Justin Trudeau took over government. And Justin Trudeau and Mark Miller were out there voicing their support for immigration. A lot of the provinces, including when I interviewed David Eby, said that Canada's immigration policy is daft to put that many people in already stressed housing and already stressed healthcare, that there needs to be more constraint. And they say they're going to do some constraint now. But in more Elon Musk news, those astronauts have safely returned to Earth thanks to SpaceX after the Boeing Starliner couldn't do the job, but SpaceX to save the day. Who are you going to call? SpaceX, right? And then a little bit more on SpaceX. We got a video to play. We tried to play this the other day, and this is just how cool SpaceX actually is. And for those of you that are wondering, that's not in reverse. That's a 20-story rocket being caught by chopsticks as it returns to Earth. A lot of people say, "Well, that's like it's just in reverse." No, that's the rocket returning. What do you think of that, Jason? Like catching a 20-story rocket from outer space.
Well, I guess he's probably using that same self-parking system in Tesla, right?
So the goal is to get to Mars, and that's the Occupy Mars kind of like that's his big mission. And he said the only way to do it is that they can reuse these rockets because they're very expensive. And so the payload that they have on these rockets is huge. So if they got to move that much material either to a moon base or to a Mars base, that's how they need to do it. And they need to turn these rockets around very quickly. So pretty impressive indeed. We got a picture of Mars there. So if anybody wants to sign up for Mars, you can, I don't know where you go, but I think it's a 6-month mission just to get there. You got that image of the Mars landscape? No. There you go. We don't have it. So there you go. That's our first faux pas today. But then one of the other things that we found on X is there's a tweet out there from when Larry Page said, if you want to have something that really helps people's lives, you have to have it. It's called a toothbrush test. And we'll just play the clip there from Larry.
Now, like Chrome, we're seen as kind of crazy when we launch them. And so how do we decide what to do?
Got sound on that?
How do we decide what's really important to work on? Well, I like to call the toothbrush test. So the toothbrush test is, do you use it as often as you use your toothbrush? And for most people, I guess that's twice a day. Raise your hand. Twice a day? Yeah. Okay, most people. So I think, we really want things like that. And I think things like Gmail, obviously, use much more than twice a day. And YouTube, I think that those things are amazing. And I think that, we look at things like YouTube, people thought, oh, you guys are never going to make money with that. You bought it for $1.4 billion. You're totally crazy. And we were reasonably crazy, but it was a good bet. We've actually been doubling revenue every year on YouTube for 4 years. And actually, if you're doubling things, it starts to add up pretty quickly.
So the whole point on that toothbrush test, I would say ChatGPT is now, I'm hearing from so many people that are kind of even the younger people, the more tech-savvy people, are infecting their parents and grandparents with it. I hear so many people are now using it. I interviewed a young lady yesterday, and she said that she showed it to her mother. Her mother's even using it to help write birthday cards and all that stuff. So where everybody used to go to Google all the time, a lot of people are now turning to ChatGPT to help them in their daily lives. And if you need a pick-me-up, and if you've used ChatGPT long enough, you can actually tell it to pump your tires. You can say, hey, ChatGPT, or whatever you want to call it. You can name it whatever you want. I call mine Q. And you can say, hey, can you pump my tires for me? And it'll give you like a 2, 3, 4, 5 minute reasons why you're amazing. Who doesn't need that in their life, right? Somebody to pump your tires. And then moving on to gold, we just want to bring this up. Gold continues to break out to new highs. 27.40 this morning in US dollars with 38.01 in Canadian dollars. So gold has done extremely well. There's a chart since 2000 of the price of gold. Bitcoin, again, as well as doing very well. So gold and Bitcoin doing extremely well. The big news coming out of the U.S., 11 days to the U.S. election. It's going to be, that's entertainment on steroids, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like that's going to be a thing to watch. Lots of activity going on down there. Lots of celebrities coming out endorsing either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. And we're talking about live streaming it that day. We'd love to hear your feedback. We're going to live stream it, we think, and so that we can just have some personal discussion on it, because it is a really big event, and the United States affects the world because they are the largest economy. They are the largest military might. They are the largest influence on trade because of the US dollar. So they have significant impact on the world, not just on Canada and on themselves. Then we got to, look at that, we got a weather scroller across the bottom there. That's pretty impressive. A big kudos again to Jason and Rommel back there running that. 70% chance of showers on Sunday and 13 degrees. So you can still get some golf out there. There's still some golf available. So some of the courses have closed, but there's still some open. And some of them will stay open until the snow flies. And probably sometimes it'll, even after it melts, they'll reopen, right? So. And we appreciate feedback. I don't know if Jason has this, but we do really appreciate feedback. Got some feedback yesterday that says they don't like my baseball cap. And we've heard that a few times. So look at this, hatless today. And they also said they didn't like my pink shirt. It was actually a red shirt. I don't know why people worry whether I'm wearing a red shirt or a pink shirt. This one is actually like an orange that kind of looks pink though too. So I wore that especially for that person. So there you go. Not sure why color matters, so but what I'm trying to say is that we appreciate the feedback, whether it's good or bad. Criticism is always good, as long as it's productive and not just mean tweets. You know, sometimes we'll read those, I guess, but feedback in general is good, and we'd love to hear what you'd like to hear in this need to know. We're going to do this daily. I love that backdrop that we have going on down there. You can see traffic. If you want a traffic report, it looks light. Wouldn't you say, Jason?
It's light, yeah. Easy drive.
We don't have a helicopter, but we do have a view from Landmark 6, high atop Landmark 6. We've got the view of Highway 97 there, and it looks to be flowing well in both directions. And anything else you want to add today, Jason?
Just enjoy the weekend. It's the last weekend to spend time carving pumpkins with the kids before the next Halloween weekend.
Halloween's coming up. Yeah. What day is Halloween on? You would know. You have 3 kids.
I should know, you mean. I know it's like next week.
Wow, you don't even know which day it is.
It's Friday. You're going to make me do this.
It's Thursday. And you've got kids in a range of ages. What are your ages of your little ones?
6, 9, and 11.
So where do you take them usually for the...
Well, Kettle Valley's kind of the place to be.
Okay, so you just stick around in there? Yeah, it's a good place for even anybody in Kelowna just to head out to Kettle Valley. So you're going to have to buy lots of candy because the houses are fairly close together. And
it's very efficient.
It's a fairly safe neighborhood. The traffic doesn't flow very fast. It's kind of like, a very, it's a really good community there to do trick-or-treating.
And the community comes together. They really go all out. They prepare for the 500 to 700 kids, and they decorate their homes, and it's festive.
And I imagine the mall still does its thing. I'm not sure 100%, but that's a great place to take younger ones because you're inside, right? So if it looks like it's not going to be that cold though, right? So it's going to be
it'll be nice.
A nice Halloween, not like Edmonton where it was 20 below. You have to put on the costume over top of the parka, so you can get larger costumes. But with that said, we thank you for watching Kelowna.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.